We are here to support the Filipino funding that had been denied because with so many other ethnic groups that have been extended the funding, most Filipino providers have not been extended any funding, including the WestBay. The WestBay Filipino Multicultural Center has been in existence like for the past 35 years, serving the Filipino Americans in San Francisco and Soma, Southern Market. We are here to rally and request the Board of Supervisors of San Francisco and Mayor Gavin Newsom to consider our plea and our solidarity in having Filipino service providers to be funded again and get a piece of a pie in the 9 million budget that's been allocated for the different non-profit agencies serving the community.
We want our share! We want our share!
What do we want?
We want our share!
We want our share!
We want our share! We want our share! We want our share!
I think we can see from the people who are here, from our youth, our veterans, professionals, students, everyone is here in support of this issue of city funding for our WestBay. One of the things that we're very incensed about is that the $9 million that is been allocated, in which right now, out of that $9 million, only about $15,000 is going to go to the Filipino community, and it's not even going to go directly through a Filipino community-run agency. So there's actually what, according to Scott Osler, there's about $500 million that the city gives to the various programs, Mayor's Office of Community Development, Health Development. There's about that much. So when we were talking about the fact that out of 9 million, not one of that was allocated to the Filipino community program, that's only from one particular section, and that's the section that has to do with aid to families. That's not even the total package. If we look at the total package, it's even worse than what we thought, because we were already incensed that we were blocked out of 9 million. When we realized that we're actually blocked out of 500 million, that makes us even worse. What is wrong with us that we have not been able to do it? And primarily it's because people think that they can push us around and we will not fight back, we will not complain. And as long as there is that perception of us that we're not going to fight for our rights and our interests, then we can continue to get pushed and pushed and pushed. But this rally today and the efforts by our community to come together is our way of saying that no more. We will not accept this, this being indifferent and ignoring our rights and interests. We're going to keep fighting back until we get what we deserve as a community.
It's important we do this so that they show we have the numbers. We are also working individually with the people who will be supporting us. The important thing is that the Board of Supervisors and the Mayor understand that we will not be ignored. We vote, we pay taxes, we are in schools, and we will exercise our power. We are not going to forget those who help us. Equally, we will not forget those who forget us. So, the important thing is we get the votes tomorrow from the supervisors and that the mayor support us. And we will do it civilly, we will do it politely, but we will do it assertively.
Yes. All right. Yes, let's do it. everybody, and I'm glad that everybody is solid, and this is the time that we have one voice. We step forward. Forget about other things. This is all about us. This is all about us Filipinos. Now is the time to get the piece of the pie that has long been due to us. So, mabuhay ang Pilipino.
I'd like to call on the national chair of the National Federation of Filipino-American Associations, the publisher of the Filipinas magazine, and editor also of Ang Panahon, and panahon nga pala ngayon. I call on Greg Macabenta.
Nakikita niyo ba ako? Yeah. Can you see me? Yeah! Why is it nobody else does? Can they see you? Yeah! Why don't they see you? Do you exist? Are you important? Yeah! Why don't people realize that? Friends, the time has come to show San Francisco that we exist. Let's stop blaming others first. First, let's blame ourselves for having been too quiet. Sobrang bait natin. Dapat matuto tayo mag-complain. Yung mga nandiyan dyan supervisors, they are our representatives. Tama ba yun?
Not only that, they are our servants.
Huwag natin silang awayin. Let's not fight them. Let us ask them to remember us. Let us ask them to notice us because we are here represented by them. When they forget, when the people who recommend to them forget that the Filipino community in San Francisco exists, they must stand up for us. It is their duty. We are here to remind them of that duty. The people who forgot to recommend us were thinking of their own communities. Maybe we cannot blame them for being selfish. Maybe we should insist that we are represented in the decision-making bodies that make these recommendations, so that today let it be the start of our struggle for empowerment, because this is not going to be the last time that we will be treated like this. Otherwise, itatanong ko na naman sa inyo, nakikita ko ba kayo? Nakikita niyo ba ako? Let's make sure that they see us. Okay, mabuhay ang Filipino community. Mabuhay ang Board of Supervisors. Mabuhay sila sa mga dito pagtatanggol nila tayo.
Mabuhay ang Pinoy!
Mabuhay ang Pinoy. Thank you.
Magandang hapon sa lahat. Nananawagan ako sa mga Pilipino. Kailangan na, and it's the time for us to join together. Help each other. In Jesus' name, Lord. We have to teach our children, and we have our cooperation to raise these children for their future. Please, my co-Filipino, please, we have to be united. This is the time now to prove who we are. Please, I'm begging. We need help, but how could we be helped if we are not helping each other? Now we have to prove who we are and where we come from. Thank you very much.
I think Mayor Newsom should come out and speak to us. I think some of the supervisors should come to us, or at least somebody who is representing the office of the mayor. And look at all these kids and all these, senior citizens, especially in this time. Where is our bailout? I'm outraged, and that's the reason I'm here.
Let's support the WestBay. They need funding. Filipinos cannot be ignored. We need representation in the future. We need to be supported by this funding. This is not fair for Filipino who are paying taxes. We are lawyers, we are professionals, we are nurses, we are teachers. We need to be included in the piece of pie. This pie does not include Filipino. $0 for Filipino, American Filipino, Filipino Americans, it doesn't matter. We need funding for these children. We need this for our future children to succeed. Thank you. This is Edna Castillo.
Thank you so much for tonight, and really this is our time to speak up and holding hands together to come out each other and really ask to make sure that the funding will be given to Filipino community.
I'm here today from all the way, not that far from Hayward, and it's because I've been to WestBay and I've seen all the caring that goes on and everything they've achieved, and I wish we can invite the people that made this decision to WestBay so they can see all of you and how much you have grown because of WestBay and how much more you have to offer to the community because of WestBay. So thank you for being here. And let's invite them over to WestBay so they can see all the progress. Thank you.
As a former employee at WestBay, a current volunteer, and a lifetime friend of everyone at WestBay, I'm happy to be here and to speak on behalf of everyone. It's nice to see us Filipinos uniting in front of City Hall to show that we do exist here in San Francisco. Although we're normally a peaceful community, we don't come out and yell and scream, but this is a cause to do so, because if not, we won't be heard. And right here are the future leaders. And if you take away the funding for WestBay, who will be there to represent us? Restore the funding to WestBay, because it's going to be a big disservice to the community. Thank you.
You know, San Francisco is a great place to live. It's a very diverse community made of many ethnic groups. But nobody should be left behind in funding, in helping children, and Filipinos should not be left behind. Filipinos vote. They're a great constituency. They support this city with their taxes and with their effort, and they raise their children and their families here. And we need funding, and we need it now.
Filipinos are the second largest Asian group in San Francisco. We are the fastest growing immigrant group in the entire city. How are you going to tell me that our voice should not be heard? We have been an invisible race for so long, and this ends now. This ends today. I dare them to come to WestBay and see that we don't make a difference in our community, because if they can tell me that, then they're lying. We serve everyone, from kids to the veteranos to entire families. How are you going to tell me that we don't help the community? How are you going to tell me the community doesn't need us? We need to stay. We need our funding back.
Okay, you guys, great job, kids. Great job, kids. Remember, what we're trying to do is provide a message to the Board of Supervisors, Mayor Newsom, in the very best possible light, that our community matters. Our taxes that we pay, that we work so hard for, matters. Our voices matter. And we don't have too much time to do so. Did you know that in the city of San Francisco, we have the highest dropout rate for our kids? So organizations like WestBay is very much needed. This is our future, you guys. This is our future. Congratulations for you guys being out here, making a difference in our community.
We want our funds. We want our funds.
Can't hear you.
We want our funds.
Get louder.
We want our funds.
Louder.
We want our funds.
Louder.
We want our funds.
I can't hear you.
We want our funds.
I can't hear you.
We want our funds. We want our funds.
We want what?
We want
Faras. I represent the Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance. It's an organization of union members who work in the city and all other cities in the various counties here in Northern California. The union members support WestBay, and we want the funds to be restored, and we want the city, especially the board supervisor, I think Eric Mar is right there, to please help us get our funds back. Eric, we want the funds back to us.
These WestBay deserves funding. These children are our future. Restore the funding now. Restore the funding now. Eric, 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 restore the funding now. Eric, 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 restore the funding now. Eric, Eric, restore the funding now. Help these kids, Eric. Help these kids, Eric. Help these kids, Eric. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hola, mi amigo. Thank you. Thank you.
On behalf of WestBay, I would like to extend my sincerest appreciation for everybody for being here. And as you know, we have a lot of kids who has not had lunch yet, so I would like to have the kids go home. Be safe and think about what happened here today, because this is a very important day for the Filipino community of San Francisco. And thank you very much. The veterans, I'd like to take my hat off, except that I'm not wearing a hat. So, but I salute all of you. And for the Filipino community of San Francisco, please be aware that this is just the beginning. This is the time for us to get together. This is the time for us to think about each other. And this is the time for us to make sure that we communicate to the Board of Supervisors that we are Filipinos, that we are paying taxes, we vote, and that we will not be denied nor we will be ignored. We urge the Board of Supervisors to vote tomorrow to fund the Filipino community as a community, as a Filipino ethnic community, and not through a subcontractor for somebody else. It's time that we get funded on our own. It is time for us to stand on our own. And I urge every single one of you to go home tonight and think about that we are Filipinos, that we are going to be funded on our own, and we're going to stand on our own 2 feet, and we are going to not lay down and take this laying down. Thank you very much.